All right, thank you guys for tuning in. So today is day one of tearing down Phoenix, my Integra project, formerly known as the P1 project. Yeah, I guess the name that I chose for the car was fitting because the car caught on fire. And yeah, the whole setup is pretty much just going to go in the garbage. I'm going to take everything out, take everything apart, strip the entire engine bay, get everything out, get the axles out. It's pretty much just going to be a rolling show. The plan here at this point is to get the car completely taken apart, sanded, stripped, ready for paint. And then from there, we'll rebuild the car. And we have a different engine. I don't know about the B series anymore. So I will give you guys more details on that engine as we progress through this video. So for now, the game plan is going to be to take off the hood, get all of the wiring harness out of there, and then start taking the turbo components out of there. Everything's going in the garbage. I have nothing here that I think I can reuse outside of the engine, and then that's pretty much it. All of the wiring components are done. All the fuel lines and stuff like that seem to be good, but I think I'm just going to be changing that setup entirely, and just taking everything out of there, including the brake lines, and this ABS system is outdated. We'll get that out of there, and we're just gonna have a completely new setup in the car. Everything's gonna be brand new. And with this project, we're not gonna cheap out this time. We're not gonna be going with any eBay branded parts. Everything's gonna be a name brand part. I think the reason this happened was because of eBay parts. What's up? Welcome back. So let's get an update in regards to the show. So the show, we're no longer going to continue to build. We found an extensive amount of rust, and I'm not going to be able to move forward with this project because it'll be very expensive. So I made a couple of moves to ensure that we would be good, simply because we already have a motor. We just need a new show. So it's with sadness I'm here to say that Project P1 has come to an end. So we're gonna move on to something else. Gonna park this out, get some money to pay for the new project and the new show, and we'll take a look at that right now. This is the new project here, the new show. This is the RSX Type S Sport, and it's got some goodies. So we're gonna first get some things sorted out because we're having an issue here with the wheel not staying straight. I can't get it down the driveway. So we have to get a flange bolt in there on the shock at the bottom there so we can straighten this bad boy out and it can roll. Once we get that sorted out, I'll get some more video and introduce you more to the whip. So just a closer look. So that bolt right there, we got to get in there. As you can see, the top one is there, the bottom one is not. So we'll get that sorted right now. All right, so we knocked that out. That bad boy's in. It ain't going anywhere now. And let's just get a little quick peek at the interior. So this is what we were given. It's not completely painted, so it's gonna get repainted because we're gonna get the door jambs painted to match the exterior paint. So this is championship white. We're going to stick with this color here. Let me just get back and get you guys a steady look at her. And go look inside. So it didn't come complete with the interior. I had to buy the console. I had to buy the panels. They're not in. I just got everything kind of mocked up because I have a dent I would like to get out of here with some PDR. So to make that easy, it's easy to just leave the panel off so they can have easy access behind to straighten out these dents and dings. There's some dings in the door as well over here. The other side is not bad at all. I don't think there are any dings at all. It's this side that took the brunt of the abuse. But overall, I think we got a good canvas. So this is what we're gonna start with. All right, so I'm gonna end it right here. I'm gonna just cover her up. I didn't really do much, but just mock up the panels and really clean everything up. I still gotta vacuum the inside, but I can't really do any of that because I had to get that wheel fixed so that I could roll it down the driveways to get easier access to the vacuum. So, all right, stay tuned. I will keep you updated. All right, so she's here. Time to unwrap her and then kind of go through the plans of what we're gonna do with her. I'm thinking, I mean, they're saying with the stock block, you can push 500 horsepower, boosted. Update. We have the motor painted. We have it taken apart. We have the timing chain cover, the crank pulley, all that all taken off. We're going to be changing the chains, the tensioners, the guides, and the oil pump. Everything pretty much that you see is getting changed, including the cam gear and the cams. So let's get to it, and I'll get you an update shortly. So here we are. We are getting rid of the oil pump, getting rid of this big old mammoth. We're gonna have a more efficient setup. So let's get on to the next step. All right, so we're back. We got the windage tray on, we got the oil pump on, we got the chain on, we got all the surfaces cleaned up, ready for the oil pan, and we got the surfaces cleaned up, ready for the timing chain cover. So the next step, which I'm probably gonna have to stop at this point because I do not have the bolt that goes in this hole right here. So I actually have to order that from Honda. So I actually have to kind of stop until I can get that bolt. Once we get that in, that's all wrapped up. And then we can actually put the oil pan down. However, we do need to go ahead and put the tensioners. And I think I'm gonna end up getting a guide, timing chain guide, which doesn't get put on until the end from what I understand. So for now, we're just going to get that bolt, get that oil pump in there, ready to go, get the guides and any tensioners that have to go on in the right place, and then we will go ahead and get this thing Honda bonded, and we will get our oil pan, which we do not have yet. So I'm kind of stuck on whether I want to go with like a stock steel oil pan with like a bung welded on, or if I want to do a Moroso oil pan and just kind of sidestep that whole process of getting something welded. So I think that's the direction I'm gonna go. There really isn't a rush on this, so we'll get this sorted out, and we'll get on to the next step. The key here is patience, because I don't want to cut any corners, and I want the car to be all it can be. I don't want to do any shortcuts. I want everything to come out perfectly. So we're just gonna take our time with this, and I'll get you the update once we get that bolt in there, and then once we get the guides in and all that other stuff. So all right, bolt is in. We got that in. We got everything pretty much sorted out. I got everything torqued down to the specs that I am comfortable with. I went with the specs that were noted online. All right, so here we are. We got the bolt. Actually, you know what? Let me just give people the part number, because I've gone on so many oil pump videos and nobody ever says what that part number is. So I found a video where someone did give the part number, but it wasn't correct. So let me just get the part number real quick. All right, so here's the part number. I'll read it out just in case it's not as legible as it should be. So it's 95701-060-2508. That's your part number for that bolt. All right, so we're back. We got the cams in there. We got the 50-degree RBC in there. Everything is good to go. Just got to torque everything down, and we are all set here. And then we can start getting the timing chain components put on. What I'm going to start doing is putting on the guides, and when I get a torque wrench, I will finalize everything. So there we go. All right, so we are finally done with putting everything back together mechanically. So we're done. The cam caps all torqued down. The post plates all torqued down. Everything's torqued down. The chain is in time. We have both dots and the gold links. We got both of those lines lined up right there. And at the bottom, we got this gold link here lined up on that there dot that completes everything pretty much. We also added this timing chain guide just for extra security. So the next step will be just to mock a few things up. Before anything is finalized, I just want to see how some things look. And before I put the cover on here, I'm going to turn this just to make sure everything is all good to go. So make sure there's no weird sounds, make sure everything just seems normal. That's what we want to make sure before I put this together for final assembly. So there we go. We're gonna, we're gonna put a few things on. We're gonna put this cover on. We're gonna put the valve cover on, and we're just mocking things up. I have to turn this over still and put the oil pan on, but again, before we do that, this cover has to go on. So I think I might even put the water plate on. So we'll put the water plate on, the block plate, and then we'll put all the goodies that came from the Track Tough kit, and we'll continue and we'll pick up right when I get those things on. All right, so we're ready to go to the next step. We got the timing chain cover, we got some Downstar bolts, we got some Honda genuine parts, VTEC solenoids, we got some stuff from Track Tough. We're gonna get that all on this motor, and look what else we got in. Excuse me, tripped over the chair. We got in the Skunk 2 Ultra Race. Got it from powder coating from Quick Strip out there in Carteret or Rahway. It might come up as Carteret, I'm not sure, but they did a phenomenal job. They did this Skunk 2 Ultra, and then they did this timing chain cover. So we just went with a textured black, or satin black, excuse me, and we went with a stuff black on here, a desert stuff black wrinkle on the valve cover. So everything's looking good. We're just gonna get more of these parts on here, and that's it. Let's get to the next step. So we got the black desert wrinkle on the valve cover. I don't know if I said that in the right order, but it's a unique black. As you can see, it's not black. It's this black. So, but I like the look of it. Breaks up the motor a little bit. You'll get a lot of black and a lot of the aluminum cast, steel color from the block, and then the genuine K-Tune parts and all these other machine parts that are going on here from Track Tough. So, well, actually, there are some parts on here from Track Tough. We got the water plate on there. We're gonna get that whole kit on there for the electric water pump, and we'll get you the next update. We are progressing. The parts are coming in slowly. Still waiting for a special piece here that's been literally on back order for like a year, I feel like, and it completes everything. As for this bootleg Mugen, we are going to replace that with the vented oil cap from level 7. So that's a nice piece. I cannot wait to get that on there. That's gonna look really good with a lot of the black pieces, and it'll offset everything good. So I'm excited. So we got some new goodies in. We got some new goodies in from K-Tune, Jegs, and Amazon. They had something that we needed, so things first, got this beauty, 90mm K-tune throttle body. Gonna mock that up. I think it's beautiful. So here we got the damper, the ATI super damper, and then we got the belt. So we'll get all that open. The belt's from Dayco. I'll put the part number in the description. So let's get this open. So there's some Jag stickers in here. Definitely got plenty of places to put that. So, and then we got the damper. There she is. Sticker. So we'll put everything on the top, but this is not going on right away. But I'll get it open. We'll get more details of that. But let's get this mocked up. So thanks for tuning in to this point. I didn't put every detail of everything that you see here in the video before because I just simply didn't want to take up too much time on things that I deemed simple. So just going to quickly review all of the parts that are on the motor, and that's pretty much it. So we'll just start with the cooling. First things first, we have the K-tune upper coolant housing with the filler neck. Might as well just mention the K-tune breather on there as well. We have the Track Tough water plate there with the Messier water pump. We still have to do the hoses. Next, we'll go to the starter that's sitting there, brand new, and the alternator that's sitting there, brand new as well. Moving up, we have the Skunk 2 Ultra intake manifold. With the K-tuned 90mm throttle body. And we also have the Acuity TPS sensor. And we also have the K-tuned 4-bar map sensor, From there, we have the hybrid racing fuel rail and the fuel pressure gauge right there. Also have the fuel pressure regulator, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna mount it in the car or mount it on the fuel rail. So that's still up in the air. Next is the level 7 quick vent for the catch can. The hybrid racing dipstick, along with the hybrid racing valve cover right there. We're gonna go with Downstar bolts everywhere, except for the Track Tough water plate. All the hardware that comes with that, we're just gonna leave it with what it came with pretty much. And what else are we missing here? Oh yeah, let's go over here. We have the ATI super damper. We also have the Drag Cartel tension cover right there. I got the Mishimoto sandwich plate, so I can get some oil pressure and fuel, and oil feed lines put there. Just revamped the VTEC solenoid, just repainted it. Got the Downstar solenoid cap there in gold. Got a bunch of new filters, so we'll be going with the OEM Honda ones. And then we have the clutch and flywheel we still have to install. We went with action clutch, went with the stage 3. Not really gonna be pushing like crazy power, just probably 550 tops. And that's about it. So far, I think that's everything that has to be done to the motor. We have the belts, we have all that stuff. We only have one belt actually, and we got some new spark plugs as well. I'll go over that in more detail as we get further into the video, when it's about that time to get the motor into the car. So I also wanted to point out this Drag Cartel VTC cover. I think that's correct. If I'm not, I'll make sure that the correct name is appearing right now. Something else I just also wanted to mention was this K-Tune plug here. That was bare when I received the motor, so I had to go buy this. I'll make sure I put the part number for this as well. And yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything else. Oh, last thing. So we got this block plate here from Track Tough as well. Just blocking off, you know, normally the cooling line runs all the way back over here, but since we're going electric, that's not needed anymore. So that's all gone. And the reason the tape is there is because I will have a coolant sensor there. Either that or I'll block that off, but I'll probably most likely have a sensor there. And that's it. So that's the updates for the motor. We are going to continue to get updates on the build. We went ahead and did some interior upgrades, upgraded the speakers, worked on some wiring to make sure the headlights and the taillights all work good. Had to buy some horns, high and low, because the car didn't have any horns when I bought it. And that's pretty much it for now. I know the video is pretty lengthy, and I know it's been a long time before I even released any videos, but I'm gonna be sure to stay on top of this and get updates as soon as I possibly can. Life's been a little crazy, but I'm gonna try my best to keep up with this, start back up on this YouTube thing. I appreciate all who tuned in all the way up to this point. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna try and get it out in the next week for you. And that's that, man. Welcome to Super Legit. So let's continue this build. Let's see where this takes us, man. I think after all I've been through, seeing this thing done is gonna be it's gonna be a celebratory moment. Tell you that much. So looking forward to it. If you want to stay up to date with the build, just make sure you subscribe. And if you happen to like the video, hey, hit that like button. Thanks again. See you in the next video.
Is it legit? Yeah, it's legit.